KUAM TV 8, your broadcast home for the games of the 31st Olympiad. Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, proud sponsor of FestPac 2016, Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion, IP&E Fueling Excellence, McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, Pacific Solar and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo, always open, always local.
Coming right up in your primetime news, a closer look at local laws for deportation and whether they are being enforced. Mr. Lecanto has that story.
Issa Baza reporting tonight on the continued delay to renovate our island's public schools.
And today was day one of an island-wide training exercise to measure our response. Details ahead from Crystal Paco. And with that, we bid you good evening and half a day if you're watching us live on KUAM TV or anywhere in the world on YouTube. Thanks so much for choosing KUAM tonight. Well, we have more on the story we first brought you last night about how the shocking attack on a police officer at a Harmon apartment complex is spurring the island's governor to call for the deportation of two of the men that were allegedly involved in that assault.
While laws are in place to send away non-citizen criminal offenders, it's unclear whether anyone is enforcing them. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The governor used his weekly address to denounce the mob assault at the Hemlani Harmon apartments in June.
We have to take a stand against the criminal activities that endanger the lives of our residents and put an end to the people taking advantage of the U.S. federal government's lack of enforcement of the treaty requirements.
Calvo also raised concern over the disproportionate number of COFA migrants in local prisons, many of whom are repeat offenders. Meanwhile, Senator Brant McCready was the sponsor of the 2013 law to deport those convicted of felonies or crimes of moral turpitude.
We want people to be inspired to come here and do good for themselves and to make the community better. But if you're not going to do good and you're not going to follow the rules of the United States and Guam, I think there has to be a decision made, and it's a tough decision, and deportation is one of those decisions.
McCready says statistics also show a disproportionate number of COFA migrants arrested for drunk driving, so the law also targets DUI repeat offenders. Co-sponsor of the legislation, Senator Rory Respicio, says the AG's office is supposed to notify federal immigration of convictions and work with the feds to report the violators. But as far as they know, the AG's office has not submitted a required quarterly report since the law was passed 3 years ago, and they are not aware of how many deportations there have been. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
We reached out to the AG's office for comment, but no response as of news time.
So as for the perspective of the community and how you feel about possibly deporting those who live unlawfully, we asked that very question for our latest Pulse of the People poll. And let's be frank, people have been sounding off on social media with the comment deport for years now, and it seems like that sentiment hasn't wavered at all as people favored deportation by a 3-1 margin when asked if they support Governor Calvo's proposal.
You can look for all our polls on our Twitter feed at GuamNews_KUAM. The driver in Monday's fatal single-car collision in Antigua died from a heart attack. According to Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Aurelio Espinola, the 75-year-old male suffered the heart attack prior to crashing into the power pole. The driver was operating a black 2014 Toyota Yaris. His identity has been withheld pending notification of next of kin. An elderly woman remains in stable condition at the Guam Memorial Hospital after being dragged by a bus late Monday afternoon. According to Guam Police Department spokesperson Captain Kim Santos, a witness reported seeing the red trolley bus make a right turn along Route 4 across Fast Copy in Hagåtña when the woman entered onto the crosswalk. She was struck by the bus and dragged 100 feet before the driver was stopped by a witness. The bus driver was cited for imprudent driving.
Guam's finest are also investigating a late-night armed robbery at Santa Fe Hotel over in Tamuning. GPD spokesperson Captain Kim Santos tells us that the suspect's face was covered with a black T-shirt, and the suspect was armed with a hammer when he made threats to the hotel staff, grabbing several $100s from the register. The suspect fled on foot across the street. Anyone with information is urged to call Guam Crime Stoppers. Their number, of course, 477-HELP. That's 477-4357. And elsewhere tonight, it's been a long 2-year battle for students of the island's public schools to see renovations to their campuses. And because of yet another protest, they're having to wait even longer. Issa Baza now reports on a hearing at the Guam Office of Public Accountability this morning.
The Office of Public Accountability is stepping in to mediate the dispute between Cortec International and the Guam Educational Facilities Foundation. Although GEF was given the notice of intent to award the $100 million contract to rebuild Simon Sanchez High School and repair other schools back in May, Cortec has continually delayed the award by protesting repeatedly with the Department of Public Works. Despite all three protests being denied and found without merit, Cortec has again appealed to the OPA. In today's hearing, Cortec attorney Joyce Tang said a potential issue may change the case before the OPA completely.
The issue is really on the $100 million cap issue.
She said she's received a new concerning procurement document relative to the $100 million cap, and if it's determined a protest should be filed, she will do so. Hearing Officer Anthony Camacho.
You're going to have to remember that the purpose of the procurement appeal is to basically review de novo the denial of Cortec's protest. That was not an issue with Cortec's protest.
He said if not relative to previous protests, it should not be before the OPA. GEF Director Phil Flores.
The Attorney General's office, DPW, DOE, they were involved in the whole process from the very start. So I don't believe that the protest has any footings to it.
Meanwhile, GEF Vice President Sean Easter said continual delays could cost GovGuam $23 million in interest if rates go up this September, especially as GovGuam financing was downgraded by Fitch Ratings last week. Camacho said the OPA typically completes appeals within 90 days. However, that time frame could be cut in half if both parties waive the hearing, which Tang opposed. The next hearing is set for August 22nd. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
And in other island news headlines, today was training day for the island's local and federal emergency responders. So please, everybody, do not be alarmed if you happen to hear helicopters, sirens, horns, or even loud explosions.
As Crystal Paco reports, stage emergency scenarios are being held island-wide for the next 48 hours. Crystal gives us a closer look at Contra y Peligro 2016.
Don't be alarmed, it's only a drill. Contra y Peligro is more than a famous line from Guam's national anthem. Translated from Chamorro to English, it means against all perils. And for the next 2 days, local and federal first responders are putting their skills to the test in staged emergency scenarios island-wide. Ray Toves is the director of Weapons of Mass Destruction Civil Support Team in the Pacific.
Contra y Peligro is nothing more than a test of the island's response agencies in dealing with the weapons of mass destruction should it ever happen here.
Today's exercise tested response to multiple targets island-wide. In Maritzo, a helicopter response to an injured person from a suspicious package. Up north in Dendido for a SWAT takedown at Southern Finnegadson, at the Port Authority for a car bombing, and at the federal courthouse in Agana for an active shooter scenario.
We kind of stretched all the responders thin. This is just one of 5 that we have going on for the day. And it's a really good test to really see where the gaps are, so that later on, when we do this again next year, we'll fix our lessons learned.
Today's exercise tested 70 participants representing 15 agencies, both local and federal. In the event of a real emergency, Tova says practice will make for better response, especially in light of other mass shootings and emergencies making headlines worldwide.
We always want to be prepared. That kind of image is nothing we want to deal with here on the island.
All participating agencies will see how well they performed on Friday during an after-action review. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Now, we did live stream the SWAT takedown in Dendido on Facebook earlier today, so you can watch and literally be right there as the best of the best operators in GPE stormed the buildings, found a perpetrator, and secured the area. It was amazing.
I know you kind of got scared for a minute there, right?
Well, yeah, when the extra explosion happened, and you can actually see that, and you can watch the commentary. Everybody was posting, like, laughing at me because I was like, yikes! You have to watch it to see what we're talking about, but it is pretty funny.
Well, still to come on your news leader, will the GOP unite and the Democrats fight? We've got Decision 2016 headlines next.
Also, we've got more on that $6 million mistake involving the Child Support Enforcement Fund for you. Those headlines and much more when Primetime rolls on.
Connected to the world at home from everywhere you are. Get the KUAM News app for the latest in local news, videos, sports, streaming Isla 63 AM, weather, and more. Available for free now at the iTunes App Store or Google Play.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens,
it's a beautiful day.
We rely on the people we trust,
It's a beautiful,
who we can always count on,
beautiful day.
and the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need
It's a beautiful day.
wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you.
At IT&D, we take a different approach when it comes to data. Introducing IT&D's new rate plans. We've increased the amount of 4G LTE data for our plans to give you more of what you want so you can do more of the things that you want. More snapping, more sharing, more connecting. Bring your own phone and get even more 4G LTE data and up to 3 months of free service. New plans, more data, more value. IT&D, life in motion.
Hafaday Guam, I'm Tsunami McKenna. I'm Janessa Quick of the disaster team. Let's talk about earthquakes and tsunamis. So what is a tsunami? It's a series of traveling waves. Tsunamis are caused mostly by earthquakes and can happen within minutes and without warning. Tsunamis can be small or as tall as a coconut tree. Earthquakes and tsunamis can be quite scary, but the better prepared you are, the safer you'll be. In case of an earthquake, drop, cover, and hold on. After the shaking stops, quickly get to higher ground because a tsunami may be coming. Remember, the beach is a danger zone during tsunamis. Get away from the beach, go inland, or get to higher ground. Especially keep in mind to follow the tsunami evacuation route signs to a safe assembly area nearest you. Thanks, McKenna. Thanks, Janessa. The next step to being prepared is to meet with your family and make a family disaster plan. For more information, visit ghs.guam.gov.
Follow KUAM News on Twitter or become a fan on Facebook to get all your daily headlines from Guam's News Network.
Hafaday, the Republican Party of Guam will be signing a unity pledge next month. Republican Party Chairman Victor Cruz says after the Republican National Convention concludes next week, he will coordinate a unity pledge signing with all the GOP candidates running in the primary. It was earlier this month when congressional delegate candidate and former Governor Felix Camacho called on the party to sign the pledge. Cruz, however, says the party had already planned on doing a pledge of unity beforehand. In the meantime, a delegation of 15, including Governor Eddie Calvo, will begin leaving this week to the convention, which is set from July 18th to the 21st in Cleveland, Ohio. Former Interior Assistant Secretary Tony Babalta is calling for a debate with Congresswoman Madeline Berdallo. Both Babalta and Berdallo are running for a congressional delegate under the Democratic Party. Babalta's campaign manager, Sonny Orsini, wrote to Berdallo's camp asking for a debate prior to the primary. He says Berdalio welcomes competitors but then relies on her incumbent advantage to avoid debates against fellow Democrats. Orsini adds a Democratic debate will allow voters, young and old, to make an informed choice for Guam's future. In response, Berdalio campaign co-chair Clifford Guzman reiterates her long-standing policy that Berdalio does not debate members of the same party. He says this policy is aimed at maintaining party unity to the greatest extent as possible. The Guam Election Commission is meeting this hour to discuss what needs to be done before the primary election in 45 days. Guam Election Commission Executive Director Maria Pangilinan says commissioners will discuss whether the election system and software auto-mark systems obtained from the Commonwealth election system in Saipan will be ready to be used for the primary. She adds the GEC will also discuss finances for the election, specifically a supplemental budget that is yet to be deposited into the GEC account. Pangilinan says the GEC needs the money to pay for site support and the University of Guam to be used as election central. In the meantime, the Election Commission will need to certify all the precinct officials tonight as precinct officials training begins tomorrow. Training is Wednesday from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. for the villages of Asan Maina, Agate, and Umatic.
As you now well know, public input was heard on Bill 340 during an info hearing on Monday. This despite Senator Michael Sinicolas' attempts to block the hearing. A bill would provide $30 million to the Guam Memorial Hospital through bond refinancing, with Governor Calvo saying the hearing allowed for public discussion on issues affecting GMH, including regional health care. Here's Speaker of the Legislature, Judy Wampat.
We need to get our neighbors involved, because one of the things we're saying is that if we could, and if they could, let's say, deposit into the Medicaid program $1 million, let's say, just hypothetically, could you use that then for the COFA citizens?
Now, because this issue affects the hospital's finances, Calvo has instructed his hospital management advisory team to explore regional health care further. Meanwhile, vendors such as Landmark Distributors and AG Supplies continue to suffer from non-payment by GMH to the tune of $650,000. Medical Director Dr. Larry Lizama said continued delays in hospital funding means GMH may not be able to procure necessary medical supplies. The bill was re-referred to Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr.'s Committee on Health, with a public hearing set for next Monday at 4:30 in the afternoon. And elsewhere, a request for an audit on the child support enforcement account is being considered by the OPA. Vice Speaker BJ Cruz had asked for the audit after the AG's office said during a recent budget hearing that $6 million was raided from the account by DOA. That agency's director, Christine Belletto, confirms last night that a mistake was made and the money has been returned to the account. But according to Deputy AG Rebecca Perez, the funds were deposited into the account, just not all at once. She says 5 different payments occurred on June 3rd and the 6th and the 8th and the 20th. For the time being, Deputy Public Auditor Yuko Hechanova says the OPA has conducted at least 3 audits on the child support enforcement program over the last 13 years, with the most recent one issued this past April. That audit did not reflect the $6 million as the withdrawal took place in June. The April audit, however, did note that DOA and the Child Support Division have made significant improvements in reconciling the account. Now, budget hearings continue, and today the Department of Labor went before your lawmakers, and they requested a $2 million budget for the next fiscal period, nearly $400,000 more from fiscal year 2016. While she noted the increase in budget are personnel-related, Oversight Chairperson Vice Speaker BJ Cruz criticized Acting DOL Director Sam Mabini over her right-sizing efforts in moving a handful of federally funded positions to the general fund.
Do is demonstrate, at least to our federal counterparts, that we don't want to continue, because they want us to build sustainability.
Build sustainability.
And that's what the effort is.
Maybe next year, if we are not drowning. This is not the year to be moving people over. I thought you lost a program.
Dr. Mabini noted the movement was the responsible thing to do, as patterns show that workforce development grants will likely become competitive, and the Department of Labor does need to prepare.
Amid a sexual misconduct and extortion scandal revolving around the Guam Department of Education, Senator Nerissa Underwood has scheduled an oversight hearing for the Guam Education Policy Board for July 19th. The hearing will discuss policies relative to student complaints of sexual harassment and violence and policies relative to student safety. It begins at 12 noon.
Well, GWA is once again publishing its water quality report detailing the state of island water. The major theme of the 2015 test is that Guam's water is safe to drink, so noted by Paul Kemp, the Assistant GM of Compliance and Safety for the utility agency. You can find a link to the report on our Facebook page, website, and our mobile app. All local ratepayers will also receive a copy of the 2015 report via snail mail.
Stay tuned. Sports is coming up next.
Summer is here, and Payless Supermarkets wants to kick off your summer with a store-to-shore giveaway. All summer long, Payless will be giving away 2 $25 gift certificates every week. So follow Payless on Facebook to see how you can win. Also get an entry form with every $30 purchase for a chance to win one of 8 store-to-shore beach packages, including a barbecue grill, a canopy, and $100 in gift certificates to step up your beach game. And a grand prize to see one of the new 7 wonders of the world in Palawan, Philippines with accommodations. Kick your summer off right with a store-to-shore giveaway.
The summer clearance event is on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Now's the time to save thousands on your next vehicle, like a new Hyundai Elantra starting at $16,995, or a new Hyundai Sonata starting at $21,888. Save up to $5,000 off a new Hyundai Santa Fe. How about a new Jeep Cherokee starting at $27,995, or a new Chrysler 200 only $164 per paycheck? See our entire selection online at CarsPlusGuam.com. It's our summer clearance event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Start seeing zero in all your purchases with a Bank of Hawaii American Express card or Visa credit card with My Banco Rewards. Pay 0% on purchases for 18 months and then 14.23% or 17.23% variable APR. Plus, earn 10,000 bonus points when you spend $1,000. So start seeing zero in your purchases. Apply at BOH.com or any branch today. Bank of Hawaii. That's my bank.
People love my portobello mushroom buttery jack, made with portobello mushrooms, grilled onions, and garlic herb butter. Ever wonder how I came up with it? Well, actually, I came up with it at the water cooler, but I thought you'd like this cowboy story better. The portobello mushroom buttery jack is back. Part of the buttery jack family. Taste it before it's gone.
Reduce your energy costs with GPA's Energy Sense program. Energy Sense provides cash rebates with the purchase of qualified energy-efficient air conditioners, washers, and dryers that help reduce your energy usage. Contact GPA today at 647-5787, 8 or 9 to learn more about Energy Sense and other ways to help reduce your monthly energy usage and save money by using energy more efficiently. For more Energy Sense saving ideas, visit GuamPowerAuthority.com or like us on Facebook. Energy Sense makes good sense.
This is what precision sounds like. Sound dampening technologies like triple door seals that help keep outside noise out.
Talk about getting out of a tight spot.
Introducing the midsize pickup only GMC could build.
In more ways than one.
Canyon from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade.
Now get this 2016 GMC Canyon starting at $24,995. Visit AutoSpot GMC today for great offers. We are your GMC dealer of Guam.
Day Guam, Nihi's at That Fan Sports, Chris Barnett, and let's kick it off with a little something about soccer. The Shipyard Wolverine Soccer Club is packing its bags off to the Philippines for some friendlies with Philippine school clubs and to hopefully make a difference. Partnering up with Gawad Kalinga, a PI charity organization that aids underserved youth. Ron Ravella of the Kaizen Group organized the trip and the friendlies, and he says it'll be a great experience for Guam footballers.
A great time for fellowship and opportunities to meet with new players and new athletes, and just really a great time in having a day of football.
Now, the club has been collecting clothing and soccer gear to make their donation to Gawad Kalinga, with outreach programs set up for the Wolverines to play some football with the kids at the orphanage. For a lot of players, it'll be their first time lending a hand to those who really need it.
But also to be able to donate some much needed goods of clothing, soccer uniform, and things like that. And I think there's also programs that'll be set up for that day. But overall, it's going to be an experience for both the Guam delegation and also, of course, the Gawad Kalingal community there.
The Shipyard Wolverines president Joe Roberto says seeing how passionate the PI is about soccer may help some Guam players take the game more seriously.
It's a way out of their current situation, economic situation, or family, how unfortunate they are in their society. But it really it allows that opportunity, and they don't take things for granted such as we do. I mean, we all take many things every single day for granted, and hopefully this will help our players realize that same thing and increase their level of play.
The club needs your help, though. They've been fundraising, lunch plates, car washes, that sort of thing, but they're hoping to add a little more to their travel budget, much of which is going towards helping the orphanage, and here's your chance to lend a hand. The team is holding a beautiful God's Country 5K fun run walk in Talafofo this Saturday, and you can register at Custom Fitness and Hornet Sporting Goods. Showtime 5:30 a.m. and go is 6 a.m. with a one-of-a-kind course through beautiful Talafofo. It's the team's last major fundraising push before they leave next week, and they've had a lot of help from the Bank of Guam, Docomo, United Airlines, Pacific Star, SPPC, and of course Calvo's Insurance. So come down to God's Country this Saturday and run for a great cause and help bring a little Inafat Maulik to those who need it in the Philippines. The University of Guam has recently named Rod Hidalgo its new head coach for men's and women's soccer under the recently relaunched Tritons Athletics program. The Tritons plan to participate in the upcoming Guam Football Association men's and women's leagues in the fall. We're very happy to have a very professional coach get our program off to a potentially fast start, said UOG Athletic Director Doug Palmer. We expect him to build a good, solid program where we'll be competitive and represent UOG in a very positive manner. Over the last 21 years, Hidalgo has developed his coaching skills at both the middle and high school levels in recent times as the boys and girls lead soccer coach at Ukadu High School while simultaneously serving as a PE teacher. Tryouts for the Tritons soccer teams held at the UOG Tritons field at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse on July 25th and 6th from 3 to 5 p.m. for men and July 27th and 8th from 3 to 5 p.m. for women. Pacific Oceania representing our region at the Asia Oceania Group 3 Davis Cup play at the Engelab Sports Complex in Iran. Coach Gildagoy sending us these pics of the scene in Iran, saying Oceania definitely getting acclimated to the hot temperatures and the clay in what is called the World Cup of Tennis. Play consists of Pool A, nations Iran, Turkmenistan, Hong Kong, and, yes, Pacific Oceania. Pool B, Syria, Lebanon, Cambodia, Qatar, and Singapore. And you can follow all the action live at livescore.com/tennis/Davis-Cup. Now, Pacific Oceania opens action Monday against host country, Iran. All right, Guam, thanks for watching. And you do me a favor, you keep on shining. My name is Chris Barnett. Adios.
1 week ago, I watched TV, so I saw some kinds of show there. I noticed you. You were so beautiful, and I said to myself that you're the only one, and I'm in love with you. Oh, you, oh, yeah, I'm in love with you, and I just want my dreams to come true. I'm in love with you. Oh, you, yeah, yeah, I'm in love with you, and I just want my dreams to come true. Yeah, I'm in love with you. And I want you to know all my feelings to you.
The Nissan Summer Fun event is on. Nissan's got your back with the No Worries Car Care Plan. Your new Nissan comes with a free 3-year protection plan and free paint sealing. Enjoy discounts up to $10,000 during the Summer Fun event when you choose from the award-winning lineup of Nissan cars, trucks, and SUVs. Take advantage of super low, easy financing and save even more at Nissan Upper Tumon. Nissan Summer Fun event. Find out more at nissanguam.com.
When you reserve a party at Chuck E. Cheese's, it's guaranteed to be a blast! Blast off! And now birthdays are more of a blast than ever, because for a limited time, tickets in the Ticket Blaster are worth double! Kid can be a kid.
People always have something in the back of their head, this wise voice that tells them, wait a second, maybe there might be another way to think about this. Maybe if I ask someone or I talk to someone about how I'm feeling, maybe there might be another way or another solution.
I guess I want those people to know that you're not alone in feeling that. I've felt it. I understand that hurt, but help is never that far away.
No matter what, it's good to externalize our emotions. It's good to talk about it, because if we don't talk about it, we keep it bottled up inside, and that's what kind of leads us to have those thoughts.
Giving up and quitting life is the worst thing you can choose. Trust me, when you choose life, you win. You'll always beat the monster that you're fighting.
If someone you know needs help, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
You know the rules. Eggs and sausage, hotcakes and butter. Morning fare, right? Well, McDonald's has thrown away those rules and opened a new world of possibilities. Now you're free to start enjoying the breakfast you love anytime you wish.
No way.
Yes way. Introducing McDonald's new all-day breakfast menu. Once you changed how you ate breakfast. It's time to start changing when.
While hundreds of homeless seek shelter every day, when memories fade like old photographs, and families struggle to care for loved ones with special needs, as young children are caught in the storm of abuse and neglect, we are there. For over 30 years, we have helped Guam's victims of life when there was nowhere else to turn. You can help too by giving $1 a month. God bless you.
All right, here's what Mother Nature has in store for us. Isolated showers tonight. I can't even say that word correctly. Partly cloudy skies with a low of 79 degrees. A little bit of rain, let's put it that way. Hump Day Wednesday has partly sunny skies in store for you with a high near 89 and lows near 79. On Thursday, seems like the wet stuff is coming back. Precipitation. Odd I can say that word, not isolated showers. Mostly cloudy skies with a high near 87 and lows around 80. So please, everyone, make sure that you have an umbrella in your car, because you're probably going to need it as we head into the weekend.
Right, because precipitation is in the forecast.
Precipitation.
Let's get to your birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. And happy birthday going out to Stephanie Dancel from Mom, Dad, and the family.
Happy birthday, Golden Girl, to Jeanette Cordero. This comes from the entire family, all of them.
Happy birthday going out to Abriana Lorelei Cruz. Happy 6th birthday from Nana and Tata.
And we want to send a very, very special and happy birthday to our very own Len Ramirez. Free hamburger! We're going to go treat him. He certainly deserves it. He works very, very hard. He's a really, really nice guy. He's worked with us for many, many years.
And obviously he likes free hamburgers.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
And that is our news. Stay tuned. Issa's up next.
Precipitation.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. Health, home, and lifestyle. Presented by Paradise Fitness Center, changing lives since 1996.
Hafide, and welcome to the Health, Home, and Lifestyle edition of KUAM News Extra. I'm Isa Baza, so glad you could join us. Coming up in tonight's show, we introduce you to body combat instructor Ann Martinez, who's going to give us her top 8 moves for body combat and give us all the details on an upcoming body combat marathon happening on Liberation Day. But first, here's this week's Health Check report with Joan Uginchar-Friss.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
On Monday, the Non-Communicable Disease Consortium, along with the World Health Organization, kicked off a 3-day workshop. Taking part in these workshops were island residents and city members, a wide range of government agencies, Department of Health employees, and more.
We're having a 3-day workshop on ProLead, which is building strategic health communication skills, advocacy skills, and especially leadership skills and health promotion skills to tackle the non-communicable disease crisis in the islands.
According to Dr. Tara Kesaram, Technical Officer for Non-Communicable Diseases and Health Promotion of the World Health Organization Regional Office in Manila, this is the first time they have held such training on island.
This ProLead has been going for a number of years now, but this is our first time, I believe, in Guam, and we're joined by our other participants from FSM, from CNMI, and from Palau as well.
Dr. Kesaram says that the Pacific Islands are facing a crisis of non-communicable diseases.
Our people are dying far too soon from diseases that are preventable due to 4 common risk factors: tobacco, alcohol, poor diet, and physical inactivity. And what we're trying to do here is build capacity with our communities and working with the NCD Consortium and our healthcare workforce for them to take the lead to implement effective interventions to reduce that burden of NCDs such as diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and cancers.
She says one of the key methods they use during these trainings is the 4 sight tools,
which enable participants to look into the future to see where they want to be about 15 or 5 years, 10 years down the road, and to work backwards and identify what actions they can take now and what partners they need to engage with to implement interventions to reduce the burden, such as strengthening
and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Zach wants to invite you for a sleepover. Tom, don't you want to sleep over at Zach's?
I'm playing.
Come, it's getting late. You also need to eat before we go.
You think Zach's brother will be there?
Are you done with your game? Come on, Tom.
I don't want to go. Zach's brother is gross. I don't want to go.
Huffa, tell me what's going on.
Don't tell her. He told you not to tell anyone.
Did something happen to you over at Zach's house?
I was playing with Zach and his brother on the computer, and I waited my turn. And then Zach's brother touched me.
Touched you? Where?
There. He always does that.
What he did was wrong. I'm so sorry you had to go through that, Layu. It's not your fault. Dad and I will help you. Husen guaidzaha, Layu.
Tourism. It's Guam's #1 industry. And if you look around, you'll see how it's working for all of us. The money we make from tourism goes into projects that keep our island beautiful. From all our major roadways to our village streets, from our historic parks to our pools and beaches.
Tourism works.
Tourism works. Tourism works.
Tourism works for me.
Brought to you by GVB, Sidzuz Maasi, for making Guam the best place to live, work, and visit.
Election season is here, and once again, KUAM is your one-stop source for full coverage of all things related to Guamanians choosing the next generation of island leaders. Tune in to D16 tonight every Wednesday at 6:30 on KUAM TV8 and live streaming online on YouTube to learn about the people who want to serve you and make Guam the best it can be. You can also find out all about the candidates on KUAM.com and the KUAM News mobile app, who they are, what they stand for, and what they plan to do. It's Decision 2016 coverage you can count on from Guam's news leader. Election season is here, and once again, KUAM is your one-stop source for full coverage of all things related to Guamanians choosing the next generation of island leaders. Tune in to D16 tonight every Wednesday at 6:30 on KUAM TV8 and live streaming online on YouTube to learn about the people who want to serve you and make Guam the best it can be. You can also find out all about the candidates on KUAM.com and the KUAM News mobile app, who they are, what they stand for, and what they plan to do. It's Decision 2016 coverage you can count on from Guam's news leader.
Health, home, and lifestyle. Presented by Paradise Fitness Center, changing lives since 1996.
Hafe, welcome back to Health, Home, and Lifestyle. I'm here at Paradise Fitness Center in Zedito, and in preparation for a huge event happening here on Liberation Day, I'm here with body combat instructor Ann Martinez, who's going to give us a countdown of the top 8 body combat moves. So, Ann, for those who don't know, what exactly is body combat?
Oh, it's a mixed martial arts inspired program where we do all of the different moves from taekwondo, kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai for the exercise. So we use them and we use the moves so that we maximize and use every part of our body.
So it's almost like you're kicking someone's butt, but no impact. You're not actually hurting anyone.
We think about someone that really gave us a hard time the whole day, and then we just get inspired and punch the nose of that person.
And the best part, double benefits, you also lose a lot of calories, tones your body.
It's about documented about at least 500 for the hour. And some of them, they're, you know how they use those watches, and now they burn about 800 in an hour. So it depends on your work. It's your workout. It's how much you put into it, and that's how much you'll burn.
Okay, well, I was watching a class. It looks really intense. There's a lot of kicking, a lot of punching, a lot of moving around. So you're going to help us count down the top 8 moves for body combat. So we'll start with the upper body. What's the first move? I think the jab. Can you explain what exactly is that?
We're usually like in a stance. So in a combat stance, one leg is in front. So this one would be the member's right combat stance, and then we put the guard up, and we have to clench your fist as tight as you can, so you maximize that, and then you jab and you target the nose. Imaginary opponent right in front, and the jab is the one that's in front, and from the back you do the cross and you bring it in, and same target, hit the nose with your knuckles. So it's jab and then you twist. You see how that goes? It's not just the arm, you twist. So upper body would be moving. It's actually the whole body movement that's the whole exercise. So it's not just arms, it's also your torso and your core.
Do you have to move your legs at all?
No, the bottom just stays, so you get the twist from the top. So your shoulders move. So it's 1, 2, 3. So it actually burns right under the ribs.
Okay, so it sounds like it touches your core. What about your upper body strength?
Yes, shoulders, bring it down, but see you're twisting. And because you clench your fist, you tense up your biceps. So that helps too. And then we have the uppercut, where also what you do is you move your shoulder like an 8, and then your target is the chin, 45 degrees up, reaching for your chin, Isa, right there. So it's up, down, and your elbows stay by the ribs. You protect it like a boxer, and just go up and down. And see when it's clenched, it works your biceps too, and your shoulder. You control it, you don't just throw it up. That doesn't do anything for you. So you control it and bring it back. So it stresses the muscle. And the other one is the hook, where you have your arms at 90 degrees, guard from guard, you swing, you lift your front heel, and you whip your hip and your shoulder, and you feel it right at the back too. So you go, and your target is the cheek right here, the face of your opponent. So you go hook, and then from the back, you lift your back heel, and you do the same thing. And your elbow should be about, the height of your shoulder.
Okay, so with the hook, it seems like your whole body is twisting.
Yes,
So
you twist and you swing, and you bring it back and guard your ribs again, just like a boxer.
okay, so it's a lot more complicated than it looks. When you feel it, like, oh, that's easy, I can do it just like this. But no, there's a whole lot of that goes behind it to make sure you're doing it the right way.
Like if you join our class, as a beginner, you just have to feel the music and go with the music like a dance. And then when you get to see how everything is done, then you learn how to do it right. And then you get the full benefit of the exercise.
So for example, say if someone it's their first time, and like you said, when you're doing the uppercut, you can't just flail your arms. You can't go too high. You have to keep it at a certain level. Is that to avoid injury, or is that just for the maximum benefit?
So. Because if you do this, like for the uppercut, I always say to stop by the ribs. Because if you do this, like, when you're running, sometimes you get so excited, it overextends your shoulder, then you get hurt. So you have to be careful.
Okay, so in a typical body combat class, how many times do you do each of those moves?
Oh my goodness, like a lot. Like we just did 128 plus 64, and that's only for one music, and that's only for one side of the jab and the cross. And then you do the other side to even it out. So that's only one, and we do probably 8 tracks of that, nonstop. You don't rest. I don't make them rest, so they just get all hyper.
She's a mean body combat teacher.
Yes, I kill them. Kill them.
Okay, so you mentioned that in the beginning of any body combat class, there is a warm-up. And do you kind of go through all these moves with the student?
Yes, and then that is basically where I try and explain how to do it, so that when we go through the combat and the power tracks, they already kind of know what we're supposed to be doing, what you're supposed to be doing with your fist, and then where you're supposed to be aiming at, and then how to do the kicks. So they catch up, especially if you're new. But you get 2-3 classes, you're in. You're good. You're gonna get hooked. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, and we should emphasize that this is no impact, right? So you're not actually touching anyone, or no one's gonna get hurt.
No, I always warn them, this is only for the class. If someone gave you a hard time outside, you just imagine, and then you release your anger in class, and then you get out and you're happy.
Okay, well, that's the first top 4 of our countdown: the jab, hook, cross, uppercut. Yes. Okay, so stay tuned. We'll have more with our countdown after the break.
At IT&D, we take a different approach when it comes to data. Introducing IT&D's new rate plans. We've increased the amount of 4G LTE data for our plans to give you more of what you want, so you can do more of the things that you want. More snapping, more sharing, more connecting. Bring your own phone and get even more 4G LTE data and up to 3 months of free service. New plans, more data, more value. IT&D, life in motion.
A beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence. The more confident you are about your smile, the more likely you are to fully express your feelings without having to worry about the way your teeth look.
Before cosmetic dentistry, I didn't smile as much. I didn't have the confidence, and it shows. And since I've had cosmetic dentistry done, I feel 10 times more confident. I make my initial introduction with a nice big smile and a handshake, and I just, feel like it really is a relationship builder, a nice warm smile, and it makes the clients and customers feel more comfortable with you, feeling confident, and they feel that you're not just there for business, that you're also there kind of as a friend as well. So, I mean, it's amazing how powerful a smile can be. A good smile.
Since your smile makes a significant impression on those around you, it is important that it makes the impression you want it to make.
Guam has an abundance of locally harvested fruits and vegetables, providing helpful ways to eat and representing our local heritage. Join me, Jonagan Charfris, during KUAM News Weekend Edition for Local Harvest, a special feature showcasing our local farms, recipes, restaurants, and businesses embracing the movement towards a healthier Guam, support of the Buy Local movement, and a reverence for our cultural heritage.
The Good Life, all month long on the stations and networks of KUAM. Check the KUAM News app or KUAM.com for all program listings.
Health, Home, and Lifestyle. Presented by Paradise Fitness Center, changing lives since 1996.
Hi, welcome back to Health, Home, and Lifestyle. I'm here at Paradise Fitness in Delito to talk about a huge event happening on Liberation Day this year. And to get you hyped, I'm here with Ann Martinez, body combat instructor, who's helping us count down the top 8 moves for body combat. So we started with the 4 upper body moves, and now we're moving to the lower body. So what are the top 4 lower body moves?
Okay, again, whenever we do all the moves, we always imagine that we have an opponent right in front. So for the body down here, we have the kicks. We have the knee, where you have to imagine that you're holding someone by the neck or by the head, and then you drive your knee into her gut. Okay, I won't. You have your heel close to your butt, and then you drive the knee in. So that exercise, you work your core, okay, and you work your leg, and you crunch too. So without even lying down, you're crunching. And then we have the front kick, which is you lean back, brace your core to guide you, to strengthen your back, and then you just kick with the ball of your foot right wherever you want to target. Okay, so you bend, you lift, and then you extend, and then bend again before you land. So you don't kick and then so you hurt your knee. So you have to be careful. We always remind them to bend, retract before you land. Another one is the side kick, where knee points to your opponent. You bring your other knee front and your knee up, and you kick. It doesn't have to be high, just as long as you control, and then you retract back to your chest and down. That one will help you with your butt, your legs, and also your core. Okay, and the last one is your roundhouse knee, which is taekwondo. You bring your knee in line with your hips, bring it up, point your toes to target, and then it's a circular motion. Lean. So when you lean, you also work your core, your legs.
You probably have a 6-pack abs with all those kicks.
Yeah, it's amazing how you're kicking and you're punching, and you'll be surprised you're building up your core, and then you're crunching without even knowing, about hundreds of crunches standing up without even knowing it.
Okay, so you mentioned, this is especially relevant for people like me, people who are runners. So you mentioned for those with knee problems, you have to be careful with the kicks. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. Well, the thing is, we have jumps too. We have jacks, and then we have runs, and then we have scissors. So a lot of the people, especially in my class, we have like really young people, and then we have, you know, people who are retired and they tell me that they have bum knees. So we always have options. So instead of like your high knees, you just make them squat because it's more of the legs. So you squat or you march, you know, and then the lunges, we always teach them how to lunge right. So only as far as you can, because we don't a lot of the people can do hardcore stuff and a lot of the people just can't because they're injured. So we give them the option so that they will still continue to do the stuff we do and not be scared. Because they would say a lot of the people get intimidated when you see people like jumping, and then we try and hook them in, and then we tell them the options, and then once they get to enjoy everything and they find out that, you know, oh, I can do this, and then they stay and they have a good workout.
Okay, so I asked you this about the upper body workouts, all the punches, uppercuts, the crosses, the jabs. You said that you guys do these so many times in every hour-long class. What about the kicks? I feel like those are a lot harder.
Yes. Well, the thing is we have different music, like we have about 10. So from the warm-up, then we start doing the combat tracks and the power tracks. The combat tracks are the ones with the kicks and the punches combined. The power tracks are like all punches, and sometimes you have jacks. So everything combined. First the upper body, and then you start kicking, and then upper body, then kicking. So everything integrated. So we're stressing at the new release. We stress that it's a whole body movement. So you don't just punch because you're wasting your time. Because you could also work out your core and everything if you do it right.
Okay, so you can try these moves at home, or you can come down to Paradise Fitness Center in Dedido and try this with your very own instructor, Anne. And don't forget, there's a huge event happening here at Paradise Fitness Center on Liberation Day. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, for the first time, finally, we're having a marathon for combat. It's a 2-hour marathon where the instructors will put their brains together, get the hardest tracks for different releases, old and new, and we get them combined, and we give you a really good workout, nonstop, 2 hours. That's on the 21st from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And register. It's for free. Everyone's invited. So you learn what combat is all about, and we try and get you hooked, and so you keep coming back.
Okay, and some tips for you, just because I watched this first class. Make sure you don't wear short shorts because you are going to do a lot of kicking. Make sure you bring water, a towel, and proper footwear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much, Anna. Appreciate it. All right, well, stay tuned. We'll have more health, home, and lifestyle after the break.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.